So in the Western world, sometimes called the developed world, we have what's known as relative poverty. Let me give you an example. In the year 2010, 17 million households in America had difficulty at some point or other in the year putting food on the table, maybe 7 months out of the 12. But nobody in the US lives in extreme poverty. And this is why it's difficult sometimes for people in America to understand how 2/3 of the world live. 2/3 of the world live in either under $1 or $2 a day. $1 or $2 a day is defined as extreme poverty. And sociologists would say that extreme poverty is when you cannot provide the basic human needs of your family. So there's no food, there's no drinkable water, there's no education, there's no health care. That's extreme poverty. And 2/3 of the world population live in extreme poverty. 4.1 billion people live in extreme poverty. But poverty is not a cause. 25,000 people die every day of hunger-related illnesses. Illnesses that could be treated by simple medication, or in a world where there is enough food grown for every single person that lives on the planet. That's not a cause, that's a scandal. Or 6,500 Africans die every day with AIDS, which for 50 cents you could buy an antiretroviral drug which would keep you alive. That's not a cause, that's a crime. Or 11,000 children. 11,000 children die every day because of starvation. That's not a cause, that's a catastrophe. Some of us believe that where you live shouldn't determine if you live. Some of us believe that where your geography is shouldn't determine your destiny. Some of us believe that this is the generation that will see extreme poverty wiped off the face of our planet. Because poverty is a human rights issue, and we're going to stand for human rights. Poverty is a very emotive issue. Maybe because the long line of the poor people never seems to go away. Or maybe because we buy into some of the false theories that some people say. For instance, some people say people are only poor because they're lazy. Really? You come here and you'll discover that these poor people work harder than you and I work. They have no time-saving devices or appliances. Everything they do is by their own hands. And if they're sick, they have to keep working because there's no health care. In fact, there's no social security or retirement, so they keep working until they die. That's how hard-working poor people are. Or sometimes people say, well, if they just stopped having babies and more mouths to feed, this would solve the problem of poverty. Well, let me give you a scenario to help you try to understand reality. There's a young woman here, and she's raising 2 or 3 children by herself. Her husband's died. It's daily survival. Along comes a man to offer her $2 or $3 a week to put some food on her table, a roof over her head, in exchange for some sex. She's thinking survival, so she does it. That's reality in a place like this. Children are the only safety net that these people have. There's no welfare state, there's no social security, there's no rich uncle. They only have their kids who can then carry on working for them and hopefully putting some bread on the table when they're aged and unable to work. Various reasons why people buy into false theories of poverty, various reasons why poverty is such an emotional issue. You see, we have it all wrong when we think that to become a better person or to have a better life, it's all about how much income we have. Each human being yearns for something much bigger than money. Each human being yearns to be visible. And this is the cry of the poor. The cry of the poor is, we're not invisible. We're real people. We are your brothers and sisters. We are human beings. This is something better. Those joining this movement to kick extreme poverty off of our planet are not just giving money to a charity like ours, which serves children in extreme poverty. We're joining together to be on a mission to make the poor visible. And in making the poor visible, we're valuing all human beings as created equal. They are our brothers and sisters. We exist as one humankind. We are making their story our story and inviting them to have part of their story, our story also. Mama Maggie, who runs Stephen's Children's in Egypt, has this brilliant quote. We went to help the children, but in turn, they helped us become better people. When we treat it as a human rights issue, we all together become better people. You see, we're better people when our story is joined with the story of all others who make up the human race. And we write a story of together eradicating extreme poverty from the globe in our generation. What a story. And you're invited to be a part of this story. Take the pen and begin to write yourself in to the story of eradicating poverty. Get to know the facts. Get to know the faces. Get to call those who live in extreme poverty your brothers and sisters. Make them visible through your networks, through your friendships. Be a voice for those who are poor. And together, with justice, we'll see extreme poverty kicked off this planet in our generation. Join the movement.